Nathaniel Hawthorne, narrated by Matt Johnson. Hawthorne was born in Salem, Massachusetts in 1804. His ancestors were Puritans and were strict judges during the Salem witch trials. His family added a W to their last name to distance themselves from their bad reputation. His father was a seaman and passed away from the yellow fever when Nathaniel was 4 years old, forcing them to move in with his wealthy uncles. A leg injury during his childhood made him immobile for a long time, which made him develop a passion for reading and writing. Hawthorne is well known for his use of allegory and symbolism, which makes him one of the most studied writers. Hawthorne was an American romantic writer who did not agree with transcendentalists. Instead, he looked into the aspects of life and the power of love. Hawthorne provides moral insight through his use of original sin, guilt, and claims of law and conscience. Much of his writing is dark romanticism that involves the supernatural and Gothic style. His works are known for their psychological complexity and emphasis on emotion. Young Goodman Brown. Goodman Brown is a man from Salem Village. He lives with his wife named Faith. Brown sets out on a journey into the forest against his wife's judgment. In the forest, he comes across an unknown man that tries to offer him his walking stick that has a serpent carved on it to help on his journey. Brown refuses it at first and wants to turn back to his village. A familiar woman then approaches them, and Brown recognizes that it is Goody Glois, a religious and respected woman from Salem Village. Goody refers to the old man as the devil and reveals that she is a witch and on her way to the devil's evil forest ceremony. The minister and deacon of his village pass by on horses on their way to the ceremony as well, and Brown thinks that he hears his wife Faith's voice coming from the ceremony. All of a sudden, he sees the pink ribbon that she was wearing fall from the sky, so he heads towards the ceremony. They announce that he is a new convert along with a covered-up person that turns out to be Faith. Brown tells Faith to look up to heaven to resist the evil. He then finds himself alone in the forest and turns to town, where he is skeptical and doesn't trust anyone. He doesn't know if he was dreaming or not, but he acts different for the rest of his life. The Minister's Black Veil. This story takes place in a Puritan town in New England, where a church minister named Reverend Mr. Hooper wears a black veil over his face for his sermon that talks about people hiding their sins from others, forgetting that God sees everything. Hooper becomes outcasted, and he feels lonely after his fiancée named Elizabeth leaves him because he refuses to take off the veil. At a funeral, a superstitious woman claims that the dead body shudders when the minister gets close. People stop asking him to remove the veil and stay away from him entirely because they are scared of him. When the minister is on his deathbed, he is surrounded by Elizabeth as his nurse and a deacon named Clark. Still, the minister does not remove his veil and tells them that he sees everyone with a veil covering their faces. Rappaccini's Daughter. This story follows a character named Giovanni and his love for a girl named Beatrice, who is Dr. Rappaccini's daughter. Giovanni goes to dinner with another doctor named Baglioni, where he finds out that Dr. Rappaccini will do anything for science and doesn't care about the lives he takes. At home, Giovanni is fascinated with Beatrice's beauty, and his servant shows him a secret path to the garden at which she spends her time, caring for a flower that she calls her sister. Giovanni meets Beatrice and falls madly in love. They meet with each other every day, and she is all that Giovanni can think about. Baglioni stops by to Giovanni's house and gives him a vial of silver with an antidote to any poison. Giovanni remembers that flowers and insects die when Beatrice touches them, and he begins to think that something is wrong with her. He gives her the vial to help with her illness. All of a sudden, Beatrice falls to the ground and dies, right in front of Giovanni and her father. Baglioni watches from afar and laughs to himself. This story shows the revenge of Baglioni against Dr. Rappaccini's daughter and his mentality of picking science over people's lives. Hawthorne's legacy. He entered into the Hall of Fame of Great Americans in 1900, and he is one of the founding fathers of Romanticism. He is also regarded as the best writers during the Romantic period.